Hey everybody, Lojo Outdoors. So, if you've been watching us for any kind of time, you know that slugs are our #1 garden enemy at our property. As you see, I live kind of in the woods, trees all over the place, stays a little wet back here. I'm probably not helping with the wood chips on the ground, but that's what we chose to do, so we're gonna have to deal with it. But I put solar salt around our garden beds. Here's our garden beds. I put solar salt around them. I'll put the video up here if you want to watch it. Appreciate it if you would. But they're still getting in. Either they were in the soil when I filled the beds up, or they were in the trees that I put in here when I loaded the bins up with limbs and logs, and or they could have been in the leaves when I put them in here, who knows. But either way, they're here. So this is a constant hunt. When I say a constant hunt, I mean literally every night. I get off of work at midnight and I'm out here till 12:45, 1 o'clock, sometimes later, and I'm just looking around with a light like a wild animal out here, picking slugs off of my plants. They are very fond of some of my plants, like look at my basil right there. You see they have just absolutely demolished some of these basil plants. So to be honest with you, they haven't really messed with a whole lot of the other plants other than the basil and a couple peppers, but they really like this basil. The problem is, so do I. So I want to try to keep them off of it. So I've heard about these beer traps, and I watched a few videos on how they're made, and I went to the dollar store and I decided to make my own. So I'm gonna show you how to make them here in a second. All right, don't pay any attention to my messy desk here. It's a process. So all I'm doing here, I'm starting with the 3-pack Tupperware. They had red lids, blue lids, I don't think it matters. They were $1.25 at the dollar store. So not much investment here. I've got just a normal pair of garden shears. And right about the halfway point, there's a mark on these. I'm just going to punch a hole in it, just like that. I'm gonna cut it. Just like that. And I'm gonna make a flap on it. And fold it up like so. Now this doesn't have to be perfect. Again, you're catching slugs. You're not sending a rocket ship to the moon. And then with that flap, I'm gonna cut just a little bit of it off, just in case the sun peels it down. I want the slug to be able to crawl back into it that night. You don't want to cut all of it off because you want a little bit of a rain shield on here. So it's going to sit here like this and the rain's coming in. You want it to hit that and fall down. You don't want it to get in here and dump beer all over your garden. So you want it to have a little rain shield. And I'm going to do it on both sides. And what you're going to end up is something like that. So it's just a normal Tupperware. It's got a hole there, with a flap. Put the lid on it. Bury it in, put the beer in it. I'll show you what that looks like. All right, so the reason why this works as good as it does, slugs are attracted to yeasty smells. So beer, you could actually just use water with the yeast, maybe add a little sugar to it, or anything like that that has yeast in it, that has a strong odor. So slugs are gonna smell it, and they're gonna be like, man, I gotta get some of that. And they crawl in there, and if it works out right, they crawl in, they get in there and they drown. It's not gonna catch every slug. Some slugs, if you put a camera on it, some slugs are gonna go up to it and they're gonna drink out of it and they're gonna get a little drunk and they're gonna go away, and you'll not catch that slug, at least not that day. But it's gonna catch a lot of them that you don't see. I don't know about you, but I can't be out here all night long and picking slugs off leaves and getting rid of them that way. So even if it's only catches a couple slugs a day, That's a couple slugs I wasn't going to get, and that's a couple slugs that aren't going to get my leaves. All right, well, let me show you how we're going to put these in. All right, so all we're going to do here is we're going to take this, obviously bottom side down. We're going to figure out where we want it, so I'm going to put it right about there. All right, I'm just going to move some of this soil out of the way. Build it up on the sides. I want to have a clear path in on both sides. All right, that's it. Take the lids off. All right, as you can see, you get in on that side, and get in on this side. So what I'm going to take is a beer, and I'm going to fill it up just about to the bottom. Just about to the bottom of where I have the cutouts. And just put the lid on, keep the water out of it, and then just leave it be. Hopefully tonight, after the sun goes down, these little slimy buggers come out, they crawl into the beer trap, and we can get them in the morning. Now, I'm still going to come out here at night and pick off the ones that don't go in there, because it's not 100% foolproof. So I just hope that this trap enables me to get the ones that I don't see. All right, if you got any questions, put them down in the comments. This is pretty simple. If you have a slug problem like we do, build something like this and hopefully it helps. We'll let you know in a later video how well it works. Thank you. Until next time, Lojo Outdoors.